Hey there, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. This is for a film that I've reviewed a couple times. I know that I have a longer review, which was a couple years ago I did that. And then recently I did a Blu-ray review for the Kino Lorber Blu-ray, the 20th anniversary of it that came out. If you want to hear my thoughts on that Blu-ray and the features, feel free to check out that video. This is the older Blu-ray. And the reason I keep this is that, honestly, I thought the picture quality looked a little bit better on this one, because this one's a little bit brighter on the picture, while Kino Lorber's a little bit darker. So I guess it depends what your preference is. Do you want a little bit darker, or do you want a little bit brighter? I actually prefer a little bit brighter picture on this. So, and I do like the Puppet Masters. One day I'd like to review that. I know they're doing a collector's edition of this with features, but I'm fine with this. And I might not have time this month to talk about that, but I do like Puppet Masters. But Deep Rising, it's directed by Stephen Sommers, who went on to do The Mummy Returns, Van Helsing, the first G.I. Joe film. This is, in my opinion, his best film, easily. He brought a certain energy to it. The budget was well handled on this movie. I like the cast. Treat Williams is a badass, very likable, very fun character. Like when the bad guys are shooting, he's like, whoa, 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 shh. Or he's like, now what? Or, I got a bad feeling about this. Such a fun character. Love his character in this movie. And Treat Williams is an actor I enjoy in general. He was in the Substitute sequels. He's been in a lot of other stuff. Definitely my favorite role, my favorite movie he's been involved with. Kevin J. O'Connor, he plays the sidekick. I didn't find him irritating at all. I thought he was fun. I don't like you. You don't even know me. Famke Janssen, who would later be in the X-Men movies, at least the first couple, and she did a solid job as this woman who's a thief, but she's not a damsel in distress, and she's strong, but she's not bitchy. I liked her. Anthony Heald, as you come to find out, our lead prick of the movie. You've seen him in Silence of the Lambs. He did good. Wes Studi, who I remember from Jean-Claude Van Damme's Street Fighter Sagat, as the head of these mercenaries. Also among the mercenaries, you have Jason Fleming. You have Djimon Hounsou, who was in Blood Diamond and Amistad. Trevor Goddard, may he rest in peace. He was Kano in Mortal Kombat from 1995. Cliff Curtis, who was the main villain in Collateral Damage with Arnold Schwarzenegger. He was also in Live Free or Die Hard. Good group of people in this movie. Good cast. And unlike films like The Predator, the new Predator, I should say, that Shane Black puked out, this knew how to balance its tone. Has fun bits of humor, like when they're beating up on his friend and Treat Williams shoots harpoons and he's like, is everybody okay? Is anybody gonna shoot anybody? Well, like I said later on, when the bad guys shoot these guns and they're so excited by it, they start to shoot again. And that's when, Treat Williams is like, whoa, 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 shh. Or they're in this elevator and they're like, what is that? It's the girl from Ipanema. But it's still a serious movie. People still react scared, freaked out, frightened. Oh shit, we gotta take this seriously. It's a real threat. But then at the same time, you have someone like Kevin J. O'Connor go, can you just get asthma, or do you have to be born with it? And I mean, the film, Treat Williams is the captain of this boat. He's with Kevin J. O'Connor and this Asian lady, and the three of them are taking all these mercenaries out. They don't ask, they just, as long as they get paid, they'll do it. But then they hit this thing, which they find out is a boat in the middle of nowhere. It wrecks their ship, nice explosions and practical effects, and there's this big cruise ship dead in the water. And they climb on board, they find Famke Janssen, this female thief who's locked up, and then they find Anthony Heald and all these other guys, and they get hunted by these sea creatures with tentacles, which the designs are from Rob Bottin. And yeah, the digital effects are not the best, but maybe because I give leniency because it was 20 years ago, maybe because I love the film, so I turn a blind eye, maybe it's because there's a once in a while a practical bit thrown in there, and the rest of it is well done, like the practical sets of the cruise ship. And I thought Jerry Goldsmith did fine on the score. It grew on me. I think when I first saw this, maybe when I first reviewed, I'm like, oh, I'm not sure about the Jerry Goldsmith score. But the more I watch it, the more I can deal with it. I don't think it's one of his best scores. You know, I give that to Leviathan and many other films Jerry Goldsmith's done. Work he did on Star Trek: The Motion Picture, among many others. But it fits the film. There's some great bits of action. I mean, the finale where he's on the... I think there's another name for it, but I call it a jet ski. With Famke Janssen, they're going through these flooded corridors with the creature on their ass. Takes a shotgun, blowing up, you know, shooting the elevator doors to get through, shooting back at the creature. Before that, when he's grabbed, what are you looking at? And shoots the creature's eyeball out, explodes. When the prick is chasing Famke Janssen with a flare gun and he shoots it, and the shot where she dives and the flare goes right over her. There's bits when I love the guns in this. I had to write this down. The Chinese M1L1 triple pulse assault rifle. I love that gun. You see a little bit there. Is that a real gun? If you're a weapon aficionado, is that a real gun or is that a gun they made up? Either way, it's a cool gun. It's like a little mini gun. I love that because it brings a lot of fun and firepower, which I appreciate. You get some nice bits of action, like when the elevator fucks up, and then it reveals this, you know, gooey hall of guts, where it's like, this is definitely an R-rated film, where there's blood and skeletal remains everywhere. Just these creatures, they don't eat you, they drink you, which I like that idea. And some nice bits, like at the beginning of the film when the cruise ship gets fucked up and the woman gets pulled down to the toilet. There's the bit with Wes Studi, the asshole lead of the mercenaries. He tries to shoot Tim J. O'Connor, and Tim J. O'Connor tried to do the right thing because he's suffering and is suffering. One bullet left. He used it, but he fucked up. So then when he tries to kill himself, he fucked himself up. And that's when it's a good balance of tone. Unlike the new Predator film. This film knew how to handle that. And it probably helps because Stephen Sommers, on the commentary for the Kino Lorber Blu-ray, he mentioned one of the big influences was Tremors. I thought that was perfect. When I heard that, I'm like, that's why this film works. Tremors is a good basis because Tremors is a classic. Tremors is one of my favorite films. And this is a personal favorite as well. I mean, that's a good movie to study, so to speak, of how to balance your tone, how to have likable characters, how to have a fun monster movie. And when this film was made, Stephen Sommers had talked about how there were not a lot of monster movies being made at that point, but they got delayed because the effects guys, they were doing the digital and they couldn't crack it, and it kept getting delayed, and they still couldn't crack it, and it kept getting delayed. Then they had to bring in another group. I forget if that was ILM or another group, but they had to bring another group in. And I think originally it was supposed to come out like early 97 or something like that, sometime in 97. But then it came out January of 1998, where Bomb Valley. Look what happened in 1997. What came out? Anaconda, Mimic, Alien Resurrection, which also had a scene where characters go underwater and go from point A to point B, like this film had. You also had Speed 2 and Titanic, about two big ships. One a cruise ship, one the Titanic. So all those movies, both with the big ships and the monsters or creatures, or Big Snake or Mimic, they all came out in 97. So They were the last to the party. And that's when people go, oh, the film's a hit, so it must be good, and the film's a flop, it must be bad. This film was a bomb, and it's a damn good movie. So, I don't agree with that bullshit. And January was a bad month to release it. But this film, like I said, the nice practical effects, like when Treat Williams and Famke Janssen are standing there, and like the whole pieces of the ship are moving around and sliding around and getting fucked up. Not these digital, real stuff sliding around these big sets. I'm like, wow, the money's on the screen. And then this big creature comes out. What are you looking at? I like the eyeball has water in it, and it explodes, and all this water comes out. And again, I like the jets. Again, I call it jet ski. I think it's a different name, but the chase scene, it leaves it on a little bit of a, maybe not cliffhanger, but sequel bait ending. And I guess maybe the second film they wanted to do sort of a journey to send the Earth, or some kind of movie like that. But the film bombed, so you didn't get to see that. I would love to have seen that if it was these characters, and it was still an R-rated adventure horror movie. I would love to have seen that, but we'll never get that. So, but yeah, I think it's a fun movie, entertaining movie. It's funny at times. It's action-packed at times. I thought the cast worked well. The direction had energy to it. I'll repeat, Stephen Sommers. It's his best film, and underrated movie. I still call it underrated because not many people talk about the movie. I mean, granted, they did get a special edition, which I was surprised by. Some people would say, nah, it's not underrated anymore, but I'll still call it underrated. But yeah, I love Deep Rising. I could talk about it anytime. If you like monster movies, it's worth. It's definitely at least worth one look. But yeah, I love the film. It's for the past 20 years. I definitely think it's one of the better monster movies of the past 20 years. I really do believe that. So, thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video. Later.